Hey, welcome back. We've got another spicy Diablo update today. We are doing interior stuff now. This is starting to get really close to the finish line. The interior is something that I'm really looking forward to, and we're going all out on it. It's not going to be any expense spared, really. It's gonna be really cool, very impressive. I'm excited to share it all with you. We're heading over to Eli's shop. He's the guy doing the interior. Headed over in the Rice Patrol Mobile, AKA the Salty Walty Wagon, AKA the 4-banger work truck. As you can see, we've got it loaded up like any good work truck. The Diablo seat. This is the original one in here that has the disgusting aftermarket Alcantara on it that's completely gross and sun-faded and bad. We're gonna be replacing that. We also, in the work truck, the Work Evo, we got the whole center console. So we're headed over to the upholstery shop. We've got all the leather in stock other than the secret spicy final update we're going to do to it. But yeah, we're gonna have plenty to look at and talk about. Let's head on over. All right, well, we're headed to Eli's shop. He's just around the corner, so we will be there shortly. No! All right, launch control.
Don't break my car on that mountain right there.
All right. Oh my gosh, he wants the smoke. Oh,
jeez.
Oh man. Oh, so did they're all cutting off the Evo.
You ready?
Yeah, sure is shooting.
Have you ever heard of carbon fiber?
No.
It's new.
New stuff?
New stuff.
Let's take a look at that Alcantara. That is nice. Here's the color that used to be. This was protected from the sun. It was not. Isn't that just sad and bad? Check this out. Carbon fiber, very lightweight. A Work Evo doesn't have a functioning tailgate.
But it's got a functioning trunk. Car's been fiber. That.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, Eli!
Hello.
Good to see ya.
Good to see you guys.
Wow.
Let's
what you got here?
Out of your hand here.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah.
This is a actually really cool workshop. I kind of want to. Can you give us like a tour?
Yeah, that's the main workhorse. Then another fun tool I just got gifted after I finished Ryan's car.
Some sunglasses.
No, some magnifying
whoa.
glasses.
Wait, what?
So they're not readers; they're just to magnify.
That's very cool. I didn't know that.
So
was a
when
thing.
you're doing detailed work, you can actually see it a lot
Put those
better.
on. Do they make you look goofy?
You feel like you look goofy?
I feel like it.
Huh. Yeah.
And if I look at a distance, I'm like, whoa.
Honestly, you just kind of look like Tony Stark a little bit. You look like some.
It's the Superman thing.
Yeah.
Now you don't recognize.
Oh, whoa!
me.
Who's that?
Right, who is it?
Oh.
Have you seen Eli? Oh man. This just different.
Different threads.
threads.
Got a cabinet that's full of threads. Threads that don't get used very often. That are
Gotcha.
exposed. In the cabinet are the threads that are.
The good,
Yeah, the good
sacred
ones.
stuff over there.
And then the new tool that we got in about a month ago,
Uh-huh.
this is actually going to help on your car a lot too, make everything's clean and tidy.
Yeah.
It's a leather skiver, so basically plains leather.
It's like the edges it things.
Yes,
are down?
so on your seam allowance, when you sew them together, and then you do that fold, a lot of times you do that French seam on the dash. That way
Okay.
you don't get that poke up of the material, so it looks all
That's
super
how you make
smooth.
it look just real
Yeah.
smooth and elegant.
Yeah, with getting more into these high-end cars, that was one of the tools I had to have.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make all the work look
This
clean and
Diablo,
tidy.
like, we're going all out. So you got the foam over there. You stack that up and then
Yes.
custom shape it.
Yes.
That's quite interesting.
I kind of put it in the aspect of it's like layering a cake.
Yeah,
I
okay,
mean,
that
you
makes
carve
sense.
it down with basically a turkey cutter on steroids,
Oh.
and then I go in my after I get a block shaped done, is I go in my shaping room and I start sanding away on it.
Back here, let's
Yeah.
take a peek at this. And so you got this little room back here. This is
Yep.
cool.
And then for shaping is bulk shaping. I have this guy, and I have one that's a little less horsepower, and then this guy for weird angles.
Oh, I see.
Basically like sculpting.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Like, well, why don't we talk some Diablo stuff? All right, you got some Italian cowhide over here. I don't know if I've publicly disclosed what we're doing color-wise on the interior, but you're about to find out, I guess.
All right.
Ooh, there we go. So pretty, straight from Italy. There's good stuff, and then there's the best of the best, and that's what we've got, right?
Yes.
This took months to come in. We had to order it all.
Still waiting on the.
Now, does this come from purple cows? The
Yeah.
Italian purple cow?
You feed them purple Kool-Aid.
Purple Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
And then they turn purple. What do they feed these? Straight coal. Anyways, here's the stuff. Let's get some kind of close-up look at it. It's a really fine weave.
And lately, too, is over the last few years, the trend has been taking normal, like American continent beef cattle. They'll send over to Italy for those tanneries, so they provide that Italian tannery style.
Oh yeah, that's what
for
you're
a
saying.
more affordable price.
Their tanneries are really good.
Yes,
They've
and
had them
then-
forever. They're very experienced.
Exactly,
And they can do it for cheap.
Exactly.
They've got all their buildings paid off and all that.
Everything's set up.
They know what they're
So-
doing.
But then you get your actual European, especially Italian leather. They really don't run barbed wire in Europe. And that's one of the reasons why their hides are so sought after, is there's less scarring on the leather. Another cool thing with leather like this is one way to tell higher end hides. One is this leather, yes, it's way more expensive than your standard stuff, but because of less scarring and how they do this process in the tannery, is you get more yield out of it.
So like the higher quality stuff
You'll get more
turns
yield.
into more usable everything.
And a lot of that falls into these areas through here. So on a cow, there's certain spots where, say it's a piece that you need to stretch more, and it's not in a high traffic areas. You take it more out of the belly because it's more stretchable.
Okay.
Then like your show parts where you want nice clean areas,
Yeah.
is you take it a little bit more out of the back.
So the purple, this is a half hide.
Yes.
This was the minimum amount that we could order, and it's kind of a lot more than we need. It'll definitely be nice to have it all. It
Yeah.
seems like.
We made up with smaller after pieces that we do,
Mhm.
because depending on where we put it and how we put it, is I'm going to place the patterning pieces to where you'll have the show.
So if we've
the
got
best.
plenty of leather, we can pick the best of the best.
Yes,
And
exactly.
anything that's not perfect, we can just avoid.
Yes.
So that will be nice. That'll be quite added benefit of that. And we're not sure exactly where all the purple's gonna go
No,
at
not
this
yet.
point. So as we go, we're gonna decide like, oh, maybe it could use a touch more. So we'll.
And that's one where I like doing, once we go to our final design, well, I like to do it when the car motorcycle is like the finished stage is the upholstery, is because then you can make that interior and everything complement the car. It all goes together, all flows.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do a precursor to everything being finished, it'll still be really nice, but you may not have that flow.
Gotcha. I had a question too with the chair here. What's the plan with this? Obviously, all this old bad Alcantara, it's got to go.
Yes.
The foam, it's still like very good. Do we reuse
So what I like to do when it seems like the foam's really good is we'll get the old cover off and all that, and then we'll assess the foam and see how it is actually in its raw form without a covering on there.
Kind of feel the
Exactly.
barometer. They use like the dense foams where you need the density, the
Yes.
durability, the all of that. But then maybe somewhere like this, you could go softer.
Yeah, a lot of times on backs, like if you're really trying to dial in for comfort, is a back part you don't need as dense as down here.
Yeah.
Especially on a seat like this, like you're a very thin profile foam on a hard surface, so you need the density here because you're sitting in it for a long time.
Yeah.
To whereas here you don't need as dense. Even if you run a softer foam here, this may still seem as dense as this. It's not
Less
on
weight on
Yeah.
it, so it kind of makes it match up evenly.
And that's a big one on furniture, is running
yeah.
softer padding on the backs of your furniture.
Okay, here's the center console. What were we thinking? We talked stitching a while ago, I know. I think just a matching purple
Yeah.
all throughout. We don't want this to be too loud. Obviously, it's really easy to get carried away with purple leather. Like,
Yes.
It's a little ridiculous.
Yes.
So we're gonna make sure it's classy. The purple's just here to accent.
What I was thinking possibly here, if it stays carbon fiber, even if it stays the carbon fiber look here,
What if we cover the whole carbon fiber? As much as I like carbon fiber, I kind of like the leather better in this
right?
instance.
And that's one where obviously the default would be black, but if we did do an accent of the purple, is I'd do it maybe more of an accent.
Okay, so then where could we integrate the straight purple? Maybe like.
If we still keep this piping look, is that's the purple through there, so you have
okay.
a hint of it.
So it's not piping, but it's
Yeah, this
like
is still piping on
Oh, that
there.
is piping.
Yeah.
Do you make the piping?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. So is this
Yeah,
like a plastic core, like a little rubber?
Yeah. Let me grab it. It's actually technically called welting,
Welting.
and it's a welting foot.
I've never heard that used before.
But you use that stuff.
It's got a little bit of squish to it.
Yep. And even in cars, I still run the marina grade welting.
I see.
And then that's the foot. So that helps you keep in a line when you're sewing.
So that like smushes the leather over it, keeps it in place.
What it does is when you're sewing that down, is it keeps it along that welting, that groove.
And then you just fold the leather like a
Yep.
taco over it, and then seam it down. And then that is the welting you called it. The
Yeah.
piping. Yeah.
This Alcantara actually used to be black. That's how much it sun faded.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous? Would have looked nice when they were done with it, but
Right.
too bad they used some. This must be knockoff Alcantara, right?
Not necessarily.
No?
So Alcantara 4 years ago, they came out because so many people were using the automotive version even on motorcycle seats and boats and all that, and it was still holding up really well to the UV, to fading.
Yeah.
So they were like, why not make an outdoor version.
Oh.
And then it has an extra layer in there that's a water resistant membrane, which water's going to get in no matter what on an outdoor application.
Yeah.
As soon as you put a stitch hole in there, that's a hole.
Yeah.
But it makes it more water resistant. Alcantara in general is a beautiful product. Yes, it does have its, like on steering wheels, it wears down really quick.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I didn't want. Like, I love Alcantara. It's great in the McLaren, but this is an Italian Diablo. We got to go all out with the Italian leather, I think.
Yeah.
We're not even doing any Alcantara, so we're just talking about irrelevant nothingness. But fun facts for those of you that are interested. Well, is there anything else? Unfortunately, we're not going to get into any like sewing. Obviously, we can't just like rip into it right away. So next is just kind of some planning that we'll be doing behind the scenes, and then soon I think I'll update you guys with an episode of the plan A, like what we have put together. We need to go through the whole interior.
And
we'll get the full plan.
That's the one is before the car even rolls in. Is I want to start to get a plan and start to get a feel for all the parts and all that.
The last thing I think I want to do is like let's get some leather out and start like kind of putting it in place so you can sort of start visualizing stuff. We'll do that, and then I think we'll end this video there, and then our next update will be once the Diablo is actually here. We're gonna bring it to the shop so he can do it. In theory, we could bring him one piece after another and we could get it done piece by piece, but your end result's not gonna fit nicely. And it's not gonna all be as
What's nice about the
cohesive.
car is you can, even as you're wrapping parts, is if you're not sure of the fitment of where something's butting up against something else, is you can double check everything, so all your fitment becomes a lot cleaner and better. Let's drape some of this over. Got some of that. This one's gonna be a little bit harder to.
A little more unwieldy.
Yeah.
That's massive.
So these will lay out and take up pretty much this whole table.
Whole table leather. That's huge. Does that come from a massive cow?
No,
Or is
it's
that just pretty normal?
because when they do tanneries, they stretch the hides out.
Oh, so it's stretched. Interesting.
And when you think about it, cows aren't small.
Ooh, look at this.
And then let me grab one sample card for the thread so we can look at that.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, all the thread swatches. So we got all the choices here.
Yes.
So if we're doing a purple, which I think makes the most sense, we've got plenty to choose from. We go put it up against some leather.
Yeah. That one just
Oh my
a
gosh.
quick look.
Look at that. You can't even, like, if I step back here, you can't even tell where the leather ends and the thread starts. I think that's the one.
I think so too.
We talked about, like, we could do something crazy like white thread, but that's a bit much. We're already, like, cutting it close to being a little cheesy with the purple leather. And we're not gonna, you know, this whole console in purple, I think that just kind of look
I think a little much.
like Barney. You got Barney sitting in the middle of it. Right. Yeah.
Funny with Barney is I never liked that growing up.
Oh,
That's actually where that
Drove me up the wall.
That's where that leather came from. It's Barney leather.
This is Barney hide.
As for thread colors, is what other colors are going in the car? Like, is there any accents?
Well, not too
with the
much. So
shifter and
we're
all
trying to keep it pretty classy. If there's any other stuff, it's just exposed metal,
that? Okay.
like silver.
Raw metal.
So
Raw
one
metal.
to throw at you. Just,
Yeah.
It's a random wild card.
Okay.
But a lot of times when somebody can't think of like, say I'm just doing a chrome or the aluminum,
Okay.
is you throw a gray.
All right, that's kind of cool. I like where you're going here.
If we do have any stuff on the purple,
Yeah.
stitching on the purple, we could possibly do gray and stitching on the black
Oh,
as
that's-
we do
that's
with purple
right.
or something
So
like
we could
that.
do like black stitching on the purple, purple stitching on the black,
Yep.
where you kind of just inverse them.
If you want that color pop. If
Yeah.
you want it to be more subtle, then
Subtle.
you do the purple on purple.
Okay, so we've actually got quite a bit to kind of think about
Yeah,
here.
a
Yeah,
lot of
dang.
options.
Well, that's gonna be on my mind for the
Enough
next
to
little
kind of
bit.
make your head spin.
How about the neon orange? A little highlighter orange thrown in there?
Yeah,
Maybe. What if
let's get weird.
we're thinking a little Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant inspired? Yeah, we've got maybe silver, purple, black. That's kind of the
Yeah.
only thing on my radar right now.
That's what I'd say just right away is
Cool.
that.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been really cool. This is nice. Finally visualize it all. So
Yeah.
this is really cool. Eli, appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with a lot more Diablo updates very soon. Thanks for watching.